Good morning, everyone. This is Atmospheric Alex here for a new weather update on the upcoming pattern change that has recently been making a lot of noise on our weather models. And let me tell you, a lot of people have been getting excited over this, and I'm going to explain exactly why in today's video. And before we get started, yes, as you can see here, I did in fact highlight some snow chances across portions of the southeast, the mid-Atlantic, and the northeast. I'm not trying to cause fear-mongering here, I'm just saying chances of snow are definitely going to increase. So let's start off by looking at the Climate Prediction Center's weeks 3 to 4 temperature outlook here. And these are the professionals, so that's kind of why I want to showcase them first. We're talking about below average conditions for, well, pretty much the entire eastern and central US here. Just take a look at that, just below average everywhere, and even look at this, even a darker shade of blue here, indicating the potential for much more below average conditions, possibly even well below average, as you'll see on some of the models I'm about to take you through. But this here is going to be very important when we look at our precipitation charts and all the other stuff that has to do with this pattern change. And then you can see above average conditions across the west in response to this. Some much warmer temperatures, through the desert southwest, stuff that you're pretty much used to for this time of year. Now for your precipitation outlook, this isn't going to look like anything special at the moment, as we're still trying to figure out, well, is there going to be any energy through this time frame to spark up any storm systems, or will this just be a big blast of dry Arctic cold air? Have a feeling option 1 may be the answer, but we'll see. You can see right now they are calling for almost well below average precipitation chances here. I, at the moment, don't really buy this entirely, but they are staying a little bit conservative. We are very far out right now. And then, well, look at this. They do have a little area of above average precipitation down here across portions of Georgia and Florida. Again, this will likely be expanded further north in days to come, but again, we'll just have to keep a sharp eye on the model data. And then I can't forget about you all up here in the upper Midwest and portions of, well, the far western areas of New England here. We're seeing equal chances, so snow chances, yes, they will be on the rise for a lot of you all. Okay, let's take a look at some model images here, starting from the GEFS model. We could see right now we are dealing with a little bit of below average temperatures, but nothing too significant. We have that nice little chill just before Christmas here, and believe me, I feel it as well. It was freezing cold by me this morning. Temperatures around 5 to 7 degrees Celsius below average, around 12 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, pretty cold out there, right? Well, as we continue this through time, you could see a very substantial warm-up moves through at around Christmas, just after Christmas. Take a look at these anomalies here. We are seeing temperature anomalies across these areas here in the central US, most of central US, talking about temperatures that are around 15 to 20 degrees Fahrenheit above average. Woo! Wow, you gotta get the fans out, right? It's gonna be warm across some areas, especially further south, but areas up here in Canada, while that might look significant, it's already cold at this time of year, so what's the difference between -10 and +20, right? Not much of a difference. You get the idea. Going through, you could see really warm conditions for much of the southeast here just take hold. Highs likely getting up into the 60s at this time, maybe a couple stray 70s further south. But then you could see right when the ball drops on New Year's, you could see this cold air starts to become more evident out here. Going further to the west, now sometimes this will stay locked over here, but with something as significant as this, it will bulldoze through the entire US more than likely. And you can see, just take a look at this, going through early January, just a ton of cold air really sliding its way down south here. And oh my goodness, I mean, take a look at this right here. Yeah, we're talking about anomalies of around -10 degrees below average in Fahrenheit Brr, that is cold, especially in your morning hours. And this just continues to grip the eastern US and, well, maybe goes away into late January. We don't know that yet, but it's important to know. So temperatures gonna be cold, according to the models. I hate to say it, but it's not a forecast because we're still very far out, but there's a lot of agreement behind this, so just gotta watch that. Now, what in the world is going on way above our heads, right? Gotta understand that for storm systems and such. Let's just take a look at a baseline here. In your red colors out here, this is a ridge of high pressure, and out here in your blues and greens, this is an area of low pressure. Very easy to understand. Calmer conditions, warmer conditions, generally stormier and cooler conditions over here. Not always cooler, but most of the time. So what are we seeing? Well, as we head around Christmas time, look at all of this troughing that develops, all your cooler air, stormier air out for the Pacific Northwest here. Just take a look at all that. What this is going to do? Well, like I've said before, what goes down in the west, all right, must come up in the east. And so that is exactly what we are seeing here. Again, the atmosphere is like a fluid, and if you think about it, think about displacing water. Like if you stick your hand in, say, the left side of the cup, right? Water will go down. On the right side of the cup, it'll go up. Basic premise there. Kind of like that. So let's continue to walk through this time frame here. So right after Christmas, yeah, look at this, just much above average temperatures across the east, but you'll start to notice a change, all right? You get this little piece of energy here that actually breaks through, which again, with the pattern we are currently in, shouldn't be possible. So there's obviously something going on here. And this breakthrough, well, you can see we have an area of lower pressure here, much larger area of lower pressure here, and what these do is they combine, they kind of morph into each other, they merge. And what is this going to cause? Well, the opposite effect out east. Look at this, now we're seeing high pressure, look at that, across the Pacific Northwest. The opposite of what we're going to be seeing around Christmas time. So, what happens now? You got your area of high pressure, and, well, your low pressure really begins to intensify here across the east. So, as we head on through, look at that. Oh my goodness. Looking a lot more favorable here. Your cold air is really able to become a factor here. Area of low pressure, and what happens next? Well, let me explain this to you. Well, now we have an area of above average temperatures across the northern portions of the northern hemisphere here, and you're thinking, wait a minute. Well, it's winter. It should be extremely cold up here, and it still will be cold, but not nearly as cold as it can be. What this is going to do is all of your cold air is going to get displaced. Cold air originates from up here, and boom, that is what we are expecting here. Cold air supply into the US. Perfect right here. Tons of blocking up here is going to become evident, and even a sudden stratospheric warming event will likely occur as well. So basically, everything is going to pile on top of each other on peak climo conditions, the coldest time of the year. So snow lovers, gotta pay attention to this, right? But you can just see colder conditions here across the US, and then who knows what happens after that. And so as we continue through the GEFS model, your 7-day precipitation anomalies are going to take you through here. I want to note, okay, around that time frame when it's supposed to get real cold out, right? We do have some greens that show up around here in the deep south, upper southeast Appalachian region, even going into the New England area that's more average. This is extremely important. It really is. I mean, when you get cold air, it should be dry air as well. This tells me that we're going to see moist cold air. We're very stormy conditions through this time frame. Really, what I'm trying to say as well is your snowstorm chances are definitely going to increase. And, again, not a forecast. Absolutely, positively not a forecast. But it's something I've been seeing on the models for a few days now. Really got to watch this. And I really got to speed up as well. It's taking quite a while. Let's take a look at our snowfall mean really quick on your GEFS and just analyze what we're seeing on paper here. Just want to see here. Again, snowfall, you start to see your mean begin to shift further south here into portions of the upper southeast. Not really deep south just yet. We're not entrenched in your pattern yet. But yeah, I mean, it's looking a little more favorable as we continue to move through. I just want to note, you're going to see a big explosion around mid-January. Look at that. My goodness. And we keep going through time. And pretty much self-explanatory, very big-time snowpack begins to develop across much of your northern and mid-tier portions of the U.S. here. Yeah, we're talking about very snowy time frame. Yeah, look at even into your deep south. You even have some areas. Look, 2-inch snowfall means all the way down into Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi. Not a forecast, but I'm just saying, we've really got to watch the models. Really got to watch everything. Trying to go a little faster through this because we already saw the grand premise of all this. Your EPS 46-day ensemble, same exact ordeal. You could see above average temperatures around Christmas, and boom, right after that, going into January, big time pocket of cold air begins to set up here across the eastern U.S. Yeah, this is going to be a locked and loaded pattern. Look at all your blocking up here as well. You do, in fact, have above to even well above average temperatures across all of Canada, basically, at this time frame. So no cold air will escape to the north. It will stay entrenched in basically the entire U.S. And we'll continue moving on. These averages get even more insane. Yeah, look at that. 10 degrees below average in Fahrenheit across some of those areas. And it just looks like your cold air is just stuck here. Just basically nowhere to escape. I don't exactly want you to fully get your hopes up yet if you're a snow lover, cold air lover. But, you know, what I'm trying to say is, yeah, snow chances are increasing. I think it's about time we really pay attention to this a whole lot more going forward. And for your warm air lovers, well, I'm sorry. There's not much good news I could tell you here, and you just take a look at that. Just everywhere below average. Absolutely crazy stuff coming up, wild times ahead. Now, looking at your pressure anomalies again, you know, on your EPS, same song and dance, just tons of blocking. I can't get over the amount of warm air that's going to be trapped in your northern tiers. Just, wow. I mean, this, yeah, just amazing, right? And just your dominant, stormy and cold pattern here below that. It's like everything just gets completely displaced. Your atmosphere essentially gets flipped upside down, and typically stuff goes crazy when that happens. Continuing through this just really locks itself in. Goodness. I mean, and I also want to note as well where this is all occurring. You know, what we've seen over the past couple months, I'd say, or really just month in general, is your anomalies have really just been centered over here for the most part. So, you know, and you're above average over here as well, your high pressure. So what's really been happening is you've been getting out of your high pressure. It takes a while for your storm systems to form, and they tend to form right around here. And then they kind of phase up into this area here. With this upcoming pattern, though, probably going to start down here, phase through here, and, well, what's going to happen when you get your, again, northern stream energy, southern stream energy, and they definitely could cause some action to occur. Definitely could. And now I kind of skip past the precipitation part because it's roughly the same as GEFS. We're going to take a look at your average snowfall, though, on your EPS. Now, when you see this, don't freak out, don't panic, don't get excited, don't do anything. It's, again, not a forecast, but it's just a trend I've seen on the models lately that's been picked up significantly. But you could see, just look at this snowpack throughout this pattern change. It gets very large. You could see your swaths of where most of your snow will be occurring here. I mean, absolutely insane. Especially looking across the Midwest. I'm not going to leave you all out either. I do believe you could see a couple or even a few snowstorms, maybe even a major one through this time period. Through the Northeast, I mean, you definitely could. Just very loud signal here across these areas. And then even the Southeast as well. Can't forget about you all. Yeah, look at this. I mean, your upper Southeast, your Appalachia region, Eastern Tennessee average of 5 to 6 inches. That is fairly significant. But I will note, it doesn't go as far south, so it kind of cuts off at the Appalachians. So further south here in the Southeast, not nearly as much of a strong average. So a lot more uncertainty will be occurring across your deep south regions. We really don't know what's going to happen down here just yet. Areas to the north, yeah, we're fairly confident in this pattern, but areas along it and south, we really don't know as of yet. And it's important to note that even the western US getting tons of snow out of it. So a lot of people might be winning with this pattern coming up. Now, I'm going to quickly speed through this. This is just your individual members here. Do not take this for granted. Do not take this for a forecast, especially the individual members. Just keep this in mind with the current pattern we're going to be going through. It's just kind of to see your trends here, right? From frame to frame. And I'm going to point out some really important ones here. Well, I mean, already you could see some of these panels here favor the Midwest a lot more. That's a possibility. Things could go wrong in the pattern, and we could see your cold air stay a little bit further north. And we go through. Look at this. Wow, Ensemble Member 2. Big time snow event there across the deep south and upper southeast. Again, pattern could support something similar. We'll see. You could see going on through. Big time hits for the Northeast here. That is pretty evident. And, oh, I want to take you back here to Ensemble 12. Again, pattern is supportive of this. Major winter storm going into Texas. Yeah, definitely not out of the question here. Not a forecast. I can't stop saying that, though, because people are going to still think it is one. And look at that. Again, big-time winners here. Oh, my gosh. Just almost makes me happy looking at this. I got to be careful. And even some for the Gulf you just saw flash up there. Again, you know, not out of reality. And just take a look at that. Florida. Goodness gracious. And again, big hits for your southern apps. That's a very consistent theme here. I mean, it just keeps going. Tallahassee getting 4 inches. That's probably not going to happen, but not a 0%. Not a forecast still. Woo! 33. Look at that. That would be insane to witness. My goodness. And look at that for East Tennessee there. Yeah, I mean, it's getting to the point, though, where 2 feet, yeah, I don't think we really want that here. I could only imagine how many problems that would cause. Big or even bigger hit here. Again, southern apps, I'm just seeing quite a signal here where your cold air is just so much more prevalent, especially in the mountains, but seems to leak into your lower elevations as well. Another big hit. Just, really got to watch that for areas that maybe don't see snow as often. And yeah, some of these are just painted everywhere. Just wonderful conditions here if you're a snow lover or a cold weather lover. And again, I'm going to say this for the 10th or 12th or 20th or 70th time this video. I don't even know at this point. Not a forecast, okay? Just what the models are seeing and what has been consistent thus far. Whew. Well, that was a long video. At least I got all the details out that I wanted to. If you did enjoy this video, please be sure to smash the like button. Feel free to subscribe to my little corner of the weather community. And even feel free to leave a comment. I'll try and answer as many as I can. And be sure to share this with friends, family, or on social media. And with that said, I'll see you all in the next video. Hopefully in a few days we'll nail down more details with this pattern change, and hopefully we keep seeing signals like this. Again, I really want the snow. I don't know why. I used to hate it living up north, but now I love it. I don't know. You all have a wonderful rest of your day.